Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a lot of news about Manchester United in terms of the transfer window, but today's video, it is completely going to be non-existent to the transfer window. You can turn it off right there if you're looking for transfer news. I know about Edinson Cavani coming to Manchester United, and that video will come in time, but it's match day, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a game day. We have to focus on the task at hand, and that is Manchester United versus Spurs. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer versus Jose Mourinho once again. Two Manchester United managers, one former and one current, colliding for 3 points. Confidence boosting season at the end of the day. We've got a tough schedule coming up, and Spurs is the beginning of that. So without further ado, let's talk about Manchester United and Spurs right now. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got Manchester United versus Tottenham on the horizon. It is game day, ladies and gentlemen. We are only a few hours away. This video is coming extremely late, but it's better late than never, isn't it? And it's going to be a good one. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on and let me know in the comments below your score prediction for Manchester United versus Tottenham. Ole and Mourinho, once again, they're battling it out, and it seems to be a very interesting game, as Tottenham are going to come into this game with a lot of momentum and good positive vibes after what they did in the Carabao Cup to Chelsea, and also their previous game was a bit of a bad one, and it seems to be they've capitalized on that situation, and now they're here against Manchester United. They're going to go and play counter-attacking football against us because we will be the most ball-dominant team, I reckon, in this game. And the question is, will our centre-backs, will our CDM, will that be enough to take off Spurs' counter-attacking ability, the speed that they're going to bring? Of course, there is big talk. There's no Son in this game, I believe. They're going to have Harry Kane. Harry Kane seems to be the big factor of this game. How will Harry Kane perform? If he performs well, then Manchester United's game could be well and truly over before it begins. But if Harry Kane does not show up to this game, if you have a bunch of Spurs players that are just not showing up to this game based on how tired they are from playing 3 games in the week, then this could be our opportunity for Manchester United to go on attack. At the end of the day, fatigue is something that could potentially play a factor, but also when you're this early into the season after having a month off, fatigue is something that I don't think should play too much of a factor for either teams. Manchester United have started off both their Premier League games extremely slow. One against Crystal Palace, one against Brighton, but in the end we are 1-1 at the moment, and we look like we have some positivity coming out of our Carabao Cup game against Brighton. Our big players seem to be performing when they get substituted on, and our big players are performing in terms of the results as well. Despite the performances, the result is all that matters at the end of the day. And yes, I will always complain if we don't perform well, but the fact is Tottenham is going to be a tough side, and the only thing I'm really looking for is a win. I don't want to get battered in this game. I don't want a situation where we're so dreadful that we lose 3 or 4-0. That's the only thing that's going to make me complain. If we're going to lose 1-0 and we have a better performance than them, then I think I don't believe I'd come into this being upset. But reality is the result is the only thing that will matter in this game. So let's take it to the starting 11. The starting 11 is something that I will do now and give my score prediction at the very end of the video. In goal, I've gone with David De Gea. This one is pretty straightforward. He started all the Premier League games. I don't think we're going to change that now. So this could be a very good game for David De Gea to see exactly if he is going to be the starting goalkeeper for the future. At the end of the day, we're just waiting for one of these goalkeepers to make a mistake, and who's going to make it first? That's the big question. With David De Gea, he has done extremely well in both Premier League games, so in my opinion, there is no reason to drop him at the moment. He's done well. He is a good goalkeeper. I mean, people just tend to forget this. He is a good goalkeeper, so he should be playing. It's as simple as that. Hopefully, he can have a good game as well. We might need him there. Spurs might not create that many opportunities, but if they do, we're going to need a goalkeeper to stop them, and David De Gea needs to be that goalkeeper. Right back, I've gone with Wan Bissaka. At the end of the day, despite having a very poor performance in the last Premier League game against Brighton, Wan Bissaka is far and away our best defensive right back, and in a game like this, with counter-attacking Spurs, with quick, fast plays in Spurs, we need our best defensive lineup in this game. And I know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and I will probably disagree on what that will be, but I think we can both agree that Wan Bissaka is the best defensive right back for Manchester United and arguably one of the best defensive right backs in the Premier League. So in my opinion, this is a straightforward, easy decision for me. You have to pick Wan Bissaka. Hopefully he looks a little bit sharper and fitter in this game than in previous games, because we're going to need him at his best here. And if he's not at his best, we are already going to be in trouble. So let's hope that Wan Bissaka shows up for this game. In the centre-back positions, now what I like and what Ole likes is going to be two different things, because I have a very strong feeling Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to start Victor Lindelof, and since this is a starting 11 prediction, I have to say Victor Lindelof. Now, in my opinion, Eric Bailly should be in this game. I think Eric Bailly really solves that issue of pace that Spurs will bring in the counter-attack. I think Eric Bailly is more than quick enough to keep up with a lot of the Spurs players. But at the end of the day, I just don't see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer switching tactics. He's not one to do that. He's going to stick with the lineup that does him well until it's so obvious that they need dropping one of the players. That's when Ole will make his move. But until then, he's going to back those players. So I'm going to say Victor Lindelof plays in this game. I hope, all I can say is I hope Victor Lindelof has a good game. That's the only thing I can say in terms of this situation. I don't want to bag the player. He had a good game last week. He had a good game in the Carabao Cup. Hopefully he comes into this game and he'll have a good game as well. No disrespect intended to these players. When they deserve to be criticised, they will get criticised. But Victor Lindelof has recovered from that bad performance, and now it's just hopeful that he has a good game. Next in the lineup, I've gone with Harry Maguire. Now, Harry Maguire, one of the biggest misses in that Carabao Cup. Usually you see Harry Maguire playing in all games when he's healthy, but he wasn't healthy. And now he is healthy, it looks like. So I think he's going to play in this game. I'm very surprised. It's almost like I'm stunned that he didn't play. But he didn't play. He will play this game. I'm very sure of that. Again, if he doesn't, Eric Bailly should be in here. But regardless, Harry Maguire, the one that just doesn't seem to get any criticism, will be playing in this game. And we're going to have to see how we go. Left back, I've gone with Luke Shaw. Pretty simple, this one, Luke Shaw. I mean, Brandon Williams is a good defensive left back, but Luke Shaw can provide us a little bit more. We're going to need our fullbacks. We're going to need everybody in this game attacking-wise, because I really think Jose, especially at Old Trafford, Jose will park the bus. I don't see him going and attacking us, at least not from the get-go. But reality is, we just don't know what exactly is going to happen with Jose Mourinho. I mean, he's the tactical masterclass. He seems to do well against big teams. Well, Tottenham is a big team. I mean, by stature, by players, maybe not by trophies, but by players, they're a big team. So, and they've done a big bunch of business. So they have more than enough to take advantage of Manchester United's weakened state with our lack of transfers. So in the end, we're going to need every single player to go on attack and defend, and Luke Shaw is one that, in my opinion, will do that better than Brandon Williams at the moment. CDM position, this one is going to be extremely interesting, because if we're talking about counter-attacking, do you pick Matic in this game? Because in the end, if Spurs counter-attack, Matic will not be the right solution. But again, this is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's predicted starting 11, so I'm going to pick Nemanja Matic. I don't think it's Scott McTominay, and I don't think it's Fred, even though I really think it should be Fred, because they both played. Matic is the only one who didn't play in the Carabao Cup, and I think it's because he will play in this game. And hopefully, Matic will have a good game. We need Matic in this game to perform well. I think Matic will do just fine. I'm not saying that he's the wrong solution, but I don't think he's the right solution either. I think he's just a player that you play and hope for the best and see which outcome you get. That's what I think about Nemanja Matic in this game, and hopefully we will be able to see the best out of him. Again, that's all we can hope for in this case, because Spurs and Man United are two completely different teams at the moment. And if we can perform at our best, and we can perform like we're actually ready for this season, then I don't see a reason why we can't beat Spurs no matter which team we put out there. But that's the thing. We have not been at our best. We've not performed at our best, and it doesn't look like we're ready for this season. And that's where Spurs will capitalise on us. And at the end of the day, they're not going to care what Man United show up. They're looking for the win. Let's go into the midfield. Midfield is Paul Pogba. I really wish Van de Beek would start one of these games, but I just know Paul Pogba is not gonna be benched. because I do think the more games you play him, the fitter he'll get, and I think that's his overall concern. How fit is Paul Pogba? And at the moment, I think Paul Pogba is getting fitter and fitter, and he will get better and better. But this is the game. Paul Pogba, for many Spurs games, has been our best player. Maybe that's just me in my head thinking about it, but most of the time I see Spurs and Man United, Paul Pogba is the difference maker, and I hope that can continue in this game. Hopefully he does well. Again, Spurs is a team that is very difficult to go up against because they're extremely well structured defensively, and they have some of the best attacking players in the world playing for their team. So it's going to be tough to beat them. It's not easy, but I do think we can have the edge if Paul Pogba plays in this game. I wish Donny van de Beek could start one of these games, and I do think sooner rather than later he will be starting in the Premier League against maybe the lower opposition teams. But reality is, for this game, I don't think you can just drop Van de Beek in this game and expect him to do some amazing things. And maybe that's just my opinion, and I know people will disagree, but I just think this is probably too much of a big moment for Donny van de Beek if he does start. But hopefully, if he comes off the bench, or if he does start, he has a good game, because that's what we brought him in here to do, to take over midfield positions, to start when it's needed, to come in for players that are out of form and perform well. That's what Donny van de Beek is for us. So let's hope that we can see what he does. Anyway, cam position, I've gone with Bruno Fernandes. Straightforward, Bruno Fernandes. There's nothing really to say. He's arguably, if not, is our best attacking midfielder. He definitely is our best attacking midfielder, and I do think he's not had that good of a start, but I do think he's picked things up over the past few days, and he's playing a little bit more deeper now, because I think sometimes he has to. But reality is, Bruno Fernandes will be the difference maker, I reckon. If anything happens out of this game positively for Manchester United, I think Bruno Fernandes will be the reason for that. Again, it all comes down to that one opportunity, and that's where we have to talk about our next player that we'll talk about later. But with Bruno Fernandes, that one opportunity, will seize the moment, and maybe it's a free kick or a penalty or just an open goal, whatever it is, Bruno Fernandes can make that difference, and that's why he plays. And so does Mason Greenwood. Now, Mason Greenwood for the past few games has not had that great of an impact. He has one goal, which is good. It's not bad, but overall performance-wise, he's not lived up to the hype. But the thing about Mason Greenwood is, all it takes is one shot on goal to make a difference. And we need players like this. We need players that can shoot once and make that impact. They might not be there the whole game, but when he is in that position, for the split second that he is in that position, he has that chance to score and he tucks it away. Mason Greenwood, in my opinion, is probably the most clinical player on Manchester United at the moment. So putting him in situations to score will end up scoring new goals. It's as simple as that, in my opinion. And he's extremely two-footed, so he can be clinical with both feet. It's a one-in-a-lifetime talent, in my opinion, Mason Greenwood, and it's up to him to live up to that expectation. And games like this is where to do it, and I do think he starts, and I think he'll do well. Left wing, I'm going with Marcus Rashford. Again, this is another simple one. Marcus Rashford has probably been our best attacker so far in this season, which isn't saying much, because Martial hasn't been great and Mason Greenwood hasn't been that great either. But Marcus Rashford, even though he's been slightly above average, has actually been our best attacker. So that doesn't say much about our attacking line. But again, if he is kicking off early in this season, we could see one of the better Marcus Rashford's seasons that has ever happened. And that's what we want. We want our players to gradually improve, because in the end, we are a top 4 side. If our players improve every single year, the only way to go is up. So hopefully Manchester United players can do that. It's been a slow start. Some players have not lived up to the hype of last season, but it's still very early, and hopefully they can pick things up. And Marcus Rashford has picked things up from the end of last season to this season, and he seems to be in good confidence, and hopefully that confidence carries over. Again, he's another player that makes a very big difference when we verse Spurs. He's often the one that's scoring the goal. It's usually a 1-0 type of game. He scores the penalties against Spurs. He has made the difference against them. So hopefully he can do the same thing here. Martial up front. Look, it's plain and simple. We just don't have anybody else that can do what Martial does. Ighalo, look, as much as everybody likes Ighalo, he's just not good enough to verse Spurs and start. It's as simple as that. Yes, he can score a goal. I'm very confident if Ighalo would start, he would have at least one opportunity at goal, and hopefully it turns out to be a goal. But throughout the entire game, we've seen that Gallo has not lived up to the hype, especially from this season. Last season, towards the end, he also didn't show up, but reality is, we're getting Cavani because Gallo just hasn't lived up to the hype. That's the only reason. If Gallo was performing at a very good rate, Cavani would not be here. But at the end of the day, Cavani is coming, and that's because Gallo has just not lived up to those expectations. And whatever you guys think about Cavani, he is better than Gallo. He's not going to play against Spurs Cavani because it's not been confirmed that he's even coming to United yet. But it's as simple as that. So until we do have a capable backup striker, Martial needs to play in this game, especially this game. And where things go moving forward, only time is going to tell. We have 2 more days until the transfer window ends, and we need some signings to come in. Cavani cannot be the only one besides Donny van de Beek. My score prediction for this game is going to be a 2-2 draw. That's what I think. I don't think this game is going to be goalless. I don't think this game will even be beyond 1 goal. I really do think if both teams come out at their best with the confidence that they have, this could be a very high scoring game. That's my prediction. I don't think we're going to beat Spurs. There's no reason for me to believe that we're going to beat Spurs at the moment because they're riding a good confidence waiver. But in the Premier League, both Spurs and Manchester United have dropped points already. So the playing field is even, but Spurs with more games will probably be more fitter, and Manchester United are just going to have to try and go based on their talent, because we have more talent than Spurs in my opinion. The question is, can we use that talent in the right direction to lead us to a victory? I think 2-2. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you're new to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel, turn notifications on. I'll see you guys in the match reaction, and of course I'll make a Cavani video as soon as it becomes official. Manchester United, brand new signing, it looks like. It can't be the only one. Let's just get that out of the way. That can't be the only signing that we do. Otherwise, done. Man United, done. Take care and peace.